I'm here, I'm back. I seem to be doing this video thing again. I mean, you've got your damn selves to blame because you've asked and I'm back. And when I say you, like 5 people that I know. Knives Out, we're going to talk about that. I have tea, Star Wars mug, naturally. I have opinions because it's me. So, you ready? I think I'm ready. It's Monday tomorrow. Can we just make the weekend longer? Rian Johnson, in my eyes, as you can see, I'm a Star Wars fan. He has somehow redeemed himself for... I wasn't a Last Jedi person. I thought there was a great many plot threads that he just disregarded. We're not here to talk about that. I'd be here all day, and there are many, many, many internet opinions about The Last Jedi, which go into it far better and possibly more graciously than I wasn't sure going into this. It's taken me 2 months to see it. It obviously wasn't urgent for me. I kind of knew I wanted to because the cast was so amazing, but I thought, maybe I'll wait until it's on streaming. And then the reviews started coming out and I was like, oh, I might actually have to make time. Obviously the genre, because I have a criminal documentary habit, the genre is totally up my street. When I was younger and I was off school, instead of rewatching my Disney VHSs, which I did, VHSs, for those of you that are younger than 22, ask your parents. Or Google. Google's good. While you're at it, look up 3.5-inch floppy disks. They're not as funny as they sound, but it's quite amusing. I would watch Diagnosis Murder or Poirot, nerd, or Murder, She Wrote. Love a bit of Jessica Fletcher. Highly recommend for anybody who's run out of documentaries about crime to watch, by the way. So Knives Out and Clue, well, it's Cluedo here in the UK, it's Clue in the US. But yeah, I was all about this, you know, a murder mystery, but you know, Rian Johnson was kind of in my bad books at the time, so I finally made time post-Christmas to go and see it. And it was just what I needed to get over a nasty bout of norovirus. That was fun. So just to recap overall, we're like 4 minutes in and I've not even got around to that bit yet. Christopher Plummer, who's awesome always, is the patriarch of this family. I would call them new money, but that's because I'm from the UK and old money here is like 500 years old. New money in the States is, you know, within the last 10. He's made his, over the past 50 years, fortune saying crime stories. He gets, apparently it's suicide. Benoit Blanc, who is an effective yet affectively accented Daniel Craig, has other suspicions. And he has also been employed in a manner of mystery. So on and so forth. The whole selling point of this movie is the cast of characters. Every single person who's been cast is brilliant. We have, obviously, Chris Evans playing against type as the affected, selfish playboy, the liberal arts major granddaughter who's got like a Gwenny style mother played by Toni Collette, who is like a goop style guru, and I think she should have had more screen time. Jamie Lee Curtis, as always, fabulous. Don Johnson is continuing his comeback. Was it a comeback? Did he ever go away? I'm not sure. Miami Vice was before my time, but the weirdest thing I found out this Christmas after she heard I was booked up to see it was that my grandma really fancies him. So there's an 81-year-old fan for you there, Don. I'm sure you're delighted. Christopher Plummer, considering his opening scene is his corpse, I'm really not giving anything away here. The whole thing is about him having been dead already. Is so central to the plot. His acting is perfect. But the person who hinges it all together, which you can't tell from the marketing, is Ana de Armas, who plays Marta, his nurse. An underlying thing about this film is it's about white privilege. And that's going to turn a lot of people off because they're going to be like, oh, it's, you know, social justice warriors and that kind of thing. I'm like, no. Rian Johnson obviously has something political to say, and he has utilised his love of... He obviously watched the same programmes that we all did, Diagnosis Murder, Agatha Christie's, all of that. And he obviously loves them because there is not a moment here where he doesn't pay homage to it. Some of my favourite parts. Dude, the great-grandmother. Harlan's, that's Christopher Plummer's mother, who's somehow still alive. Daniel Craig's like, how old is she? And they go, we're not exactly sure. She's hilarious. I love her. I want to be that when I grow up. I just a crotchety old lady who says nothing but sees all. But there is a lot of undertone there, which I think towards the end of the movie was not wrapped up. He didn't come to any conclusion. Maybe he wanted it to be... Maybe Rian Johnson was leaving this open as a discussion point. This came out pre or about Thanksgiving in the States. That's like late November? I think my memory of American holidays is not great, obviously. Anyway, I imagine this is something that the whole family went to see because I think it's a 12A? 12A, must be. And it's something you could see with the whole family and then discuss it. Murder mystery is always something that can cross generational barriers as well. We all love a bit of mystery, whether we admit it or not. Isn't that what most adventure stories are? They're a mystery. You're trying to get to the end. What's the answer? So maybe Rian Johnson was just trying to promote some discussion over the dinner table, because thanks, we all know that's going to go down well. Let's talk about politics at a family gathering. That's going to be nice and safe. Thank you. I really enjoy that. The film, however, beautifully shot. Apparently it took a very short amount of time, shot on location in Boston. Stunning. The location they found for the house, which is the focal point, the house is the story. Without that setting, you don't really have much of a story. As I said, the whole cast of characters is epic and you just want to spend more time with them. Ana de Armas as Marta is the linchpin, the focal point. It becomes a kind of Holmes and Watson story about 2/3 of the way through. I didn't laugh uproariously, but it was amusing and well paced all the way through until about the last 1/8 of the movie, where it starts to get a bit fractured because it's like, oh, we've got to start wrapping this up now. You know, there's all these threads and you've got to pull them together, and Benoit Blanc, who's as I said, Daniel Craig, playing this very southern dandy gentleman who's very out of his gentleman detective, who's very out of his comfort zone, or not comfort zone, but he's very out of his natural environment. He has to put it all together, loosens his tie, takes his jacket off, rolls up his sleeves, gets down to it. We have a boom, boom, boom laying out of the facts, except he doesn't do it in front of a fireplace, in front of a whole room full of people like they did in Agatha Christie books. He does it in front of some police detectives. It's very traditional, the way it's resolved, and there is a kind of resolution to the crime. And finding out what the crime is not what you expect. But there's not really a resolution to the social commentary in it, and as I said, maybe that's the point. Ana de Armas, considering she's playing the straight role, there's nothing funny about her part. I think she did incredibly well. This is a hefty story with high-class actors to act against when she's established, certainly, but she's not, you know, she's not Toni Collette. Congratulations, Anna, you did spectacularly well. And you and Mr. Craig played off each other incredibly well. I love Daniel Craig as James Bond, I do. But having seen him in this, I feel like we're not seeing the best of him. I think the best of him will come when he's retired and he's sunk more into his middle age. Let's be honest, James Bond is a youngish role. I think Daniel Craig's best acting comes as a character actor, and I thought, despite the fact that it was so dissonant listening to his really southern dandyish drawling accent, once your ear got attuned to it, he absolutely nailed the rhythm of the film. I want to see more of that, you know, so if this next Bond's going to be his last, let's hopefully go out on a high, and I want to see him do this again. I was discussing it with somebody, a friend of mine, Matt, on Insta Stories, as we do, we just chat all the time, and we both discussed that we would like to see another one of these with Daniel Craig and perhaps Marta in the future. Like, I think they could, there's no opening for it, it does end, that's it, that's solved, the story's done. And it was very satisfying, and it was swift, which I enjoy. But that you could maybe, if it was done well, the same writers, director, Ryan, obviously you have my love for this movie now. It would be better for them to be involved if you're going to do a sequel. It's a shame though, because I kind of want the whole cast to come back, but their story's been told, so... I did think it went very fast at the end, but I did enjoy not sitting on my arse for 3 hours. As much as I love an epic space opera or a huge fantasy film. I mean, I just binged The Witcher in 8 hours, and I didn't mean to do that in one night, and that meant I was very tired for work. I didn't mind just sitting there for like an hour and a half. Because I'm tired of sitting there for 3 hours. I do think in movies, if you can't say what you want to say in 3 hours, I'm looking at you, DC, and you have to cut it to the point where it's mutilated, then maybe it should have been 2 movies, or maybe your script needs to be better. This was ideal. Didn't need to be any longer, didn't need to be any shorter. I do think in the last 2/8 of the movie, maybe the pacing could have worked out, but I was involved from the very first, and that was all down to the setting. The lighting and the cinematography were great. Like, they added to the story, but they didn't detract from it. You know, you can have auteur movies, which are beautiful. Again, looking at you, DC, that doesn't necessarily make them good. Just because you can pause it and you could probably frame that still, does not make it a good film. Go and see Knives Out. Hopefully it won't be too long for it to be off the cinema. I mean, it's basically out of cinemas now. I only managed to watch it because I'm in London. My mum desperately wanted to watch it, so hopefully when it goes on streaming, I'll head home, I'll show it to her. I think we're gonna have a great time as a family watching it, and you know, sometimes we have a lack of movies that you can do that with. I'm really looking forward to it, and I do highly recommend it, especially if you're perhaps a teenager looking for something fun and a bit close to the bone that you can also watch with your family. This ain't Rocket Man. You're not going to get dreadfully embarrassed halfway through, I promise. I'm going to see Little Women tomorrow. Guess I should be doing another one of these then.